broadcast of death. The year was 2147, and humanity believed it was standing at the edge of a new and hopeful future. For the first time in history, humans were about to speak with an alien species in a peaceful way. The world stopped as every screen showed the same image. In homes, schools, and busy cities, people watched together. Children sat beside parents, leaders stood in silent rooms, hope filled the air. Mixed with fear and excitement, the aliens called themselves the Varex Dominion. They appeared tall and thin, with dark armor and glowing eyes. Their ships floated behind them like silent monsters. The Varex leader spoke in a calm and slow voice. He said the Varex had watched Earth for many years. He said humans were interesting, but also weak. At first, nothing felt wrong. The alien voice was smooth, almost friendly. People believed peace was possible. Then the screen changed. The image showed a human city, bright and alive, in one moment. The city vanished in a flash of white light. Millions died instantly, before anyone could understand. Another city appeared, and then another one was erased. People screamed as they watched the impossible happen. 7 million humans were killed. In seconds, lived for the whole world to see. Families cried as they recognized the streets, buildings, and homes. World leaders shouted orders that meant nothing. Scientists stared in shock, unable to speak. No weapon fired back. No shield stopped the attack. The Varex leader returned to the screen. His eyes showed no emotion. His voice remained calm and cold. "This is a warning," he said. "Humanity exists because we allow it. You will obey, or you will end." The message ended without mercy. The screens went black across the planet. Earth fell into silence. That silence was not peaceful. It was heavy and painful. It was filled with fear, loss, and rage. In hospitals, alarms rang without pause. In cities, people dropped to their knees. Across Earth, humanity mourned together. The Varex believed this moment broke the human spirit. They believed fear would control Earth forever. They believed humans would never rise again. But deep beneath the surface of that silent world, something changed. Governments stopped arguing and started listening. Borders stopped mattering. Scientists, soldiers, and engineers worked without rest. Old laws were ignored. Dangerous ideas became necessary. Humanity remembered every face lost on that screen. Every scream echoed in their minds. Every city became a promise. The Varex saw only a quiet planet. They mistook silence for surrender. They did not understand humans, because humans do not forget humiliation. Humans do not forgive slaughter, and humans do not stay weak for long, far from alien eyes. Earth began to prepare, not with speeches or threats, but with purpose. The broadcast that was meant to end humanity became the moment humanity was reborn, and the galaxy would soon learn the cost of that mistake. Silence is not surrender. After the broadcast ended, Earth did not reply. No messages were sent. No ships were launched to the galaxy. Humanity went silent. Days passed, then weeks. Alien observers watched Earth closely. They saw no movement, no signals. The Varex Dominion laughed at the quiet planet. They believed fear had done its job. In their minds, humans were broken. Alien leaders spoke with pride. They said Earth would now obey. They said the lesson was complete, but on Earth, the silence meant something else. It was not surrender. It was focus. World leaders vanished from public view, not because they were hiding, but because they were working together. For the first time in history, all nations agreed. There were no flags in the meeting rooms. Only one word mattered: survival. Deep underground, secret doors opened. Old bunkers came back to life. Places even history had forgotten. Scientists who once argued now shared ideas. Military leaders listened instead of commanded. Every human skill was used. Satellites were shut down on purpose. Signals were hidden inside space noise. Earth learned how to look dead. The Varex watched the quiet world and felt proud. They believed humans had accepted their place. They did not see the storm growing in secret labs. Engineers studied the alien attack. They replayed the broadcast again and again. Every beam, every delay, every mistake. Human AI systems were unlocked. Limits were removed without hesitation. Speed became more important than safety. A project was given a name that never appeared on records: Project Ashburn. It was humanity's answer. New ships were designed without beauty in mind. They were small, dark, and silent, built to kill, not to impress. Weapons were created to break shields, not with power, but with intelligence. Humans learned the enemy's patterns. Factories worked day and night. Cities above ground stayed quiet. People were told nothing. Families mourned in silence. They held on to anger like fuel. Every loss became strength. The Varex continued to mock Earth. Alien media called humans cowards. They celebrated an easy victory. They did not notice the missing probes. They ignored small errors in deep space. They never questioned their own pride. Then, far from Earth, something moved. A human ship slipped into the dark. No lights, no signal, no name. It was the first of many, humanity's first step back into the stars. The war had begun. Earth remained silent. But that silence now carried teeth, and the galaxy was about to hear it scream. Humans learned fast. The first human ship moved through space like a shadow. It did not shine. It did not speak. It watched. Inside the ship, there were no windows, only screens and quiet faces. Every person knew the mission mattered. The target was a small Varex outpost. It floated near a dead star, used to watch nearby systems. The Varex never expected danger. They believed humans were afraid. They believed Earth was still crying. Human scanners studied the outpost from far away. They did not rush. They waited and learned. Every signal was recorded. Every energy pulse was measured. Human AI searched for patterns. The aliens used strong shields. But those shields followed fixed rules. Rules humans loved to break. Back on Earth, scientists worked without sleep. They shared data across the planet. No secrets, no competition. Human AI found a weakness. The Varex shields reacted slowly to changing frequencies. They were strong, but not flexible. The human ship adjusted its weapons. Not stronger, just smarter. A soft strike instead of a loud one. When the attack came, it was silent. No warning alarms sounded. No explosions filled space. The Varex outpost simply went dark. Lights failed. Systems died. Life support stopped. Inside the alien station, panic spread. Their weapons did nothing. Their shields meant nothing. The human ship left as quietly as it arrived. No message was sent. No victory was claimed. Minutes later, Alien Command noticed the silence. They tried to contact the outpost. There was no answer. At first, they assumed a system error. Then another outpost reported strange signals. Then that one went silent too. Confusion replaced confidence. Alien commanders argued. They had never faced this before. Humans continued to observe. They did not celebrate. They prepared. Captured data was studied again and again. Human engineers improved designs fast. Every encounter made them stronger. New ships were built in weeks, not years. Speed mattered more than comfort. Human pilots, trained in simulations that felt real. They failed, learned, and adapted, again and again. The Varex finally accepted the truth. Humans were not hiding. Humans were learning. Alien leaders ordered patrols, but their fleets were slow, built for fear, not surprise. Human ships struck supply lines, then vanished, always watching, always adapting. Alien soldiers started to feel afraid. They whispered about human ghosts, ships that appeared and disappeared. For the first time, the Varex felt uncertainty. Their power no longer felt absolute. Their pride began to crack. On Earth, no one cheered. No parades filled the streets, only quiet determination. Humanity remembered the broadcast. They remembered the 7 million. They remembered the lesson forced upon them. The galaxy had seen humans as weak. Now, it would see something new. A species that learned faster than it feared, and this was only the beginning. The fear spreads. The attacks did not stop after the first outposts fell. Human ships moved deeper into Varex space, always silent, always precise. The Varex tried to hide the losses. They told their people everything was under control. But fear cannot be hidden for long. Supply stations began to disappear. Communication hubs went dark. Trade routes became empty. Alien commanders demanded answers, but no one could explain the pattern. The humans never attacked the same way twice. Human AI changed tactics every time. Weapons adjusted in seconds. What worked once would never work again. The Varex sent war fleets to protect their systems, huge ships filled with power and pride. They expected an easy fight. Instead, they found nothing. Human ships refused open battle. They waited. When the moment was right, humans struck. Engines failed. Weapons froze. Entire fleets were left drifting in space. Alien soldiers watched their systems die. They had never felt helpless before. Now they felt what humans felt on that broadcast. Fear began to spread among the Verex people. News leaked. Despite censorship, whispers moved faster than ships. Alien civilians saw human ships for the first time. Small, dark, and silent. They looked nothing like monsters, but the fear was real. Because humans did not speak, they did not warn. Cities on alien worlds went into lockdown. Children were pulled from schools. Families hid underground. Verex media called humans savages. They called them demons from a weak world. They needed a story to hold on to, but the truth was harder. Humans were not acting in anger alone. They were acting with purpose. Every strike had meaning. Every target was chosen. Nothing was random. On Earth, people watched the news quietly. No celebrations, no joy. Only understanding. Human leaders knew this war could not stop halfway. The Vorex would never forgive resistance. Only strength would end it. The Alien High Council met in panic. Their voices shook with fear. Their power felt fragile. They remembered the broadcast. They remembered their words. And now they understood their mistake. For the first time in their history, the Verex felt hunted, not by beasts, but by humans. And as fear spread through their empire, a single decision was made. They would wipe Earth out completely. The war was about to reach its breaking point. Earth's final answer. The Verex Dominion made its choice in fear and anger. They gathered the largest fleet the galaxy had ever seen. Thousands of warships moved toward Earth. Alien commanders promised total destruction. They wanted no humans left alive. They wanted to erase the mistake they had created. The invasion force burned through space. Stars reflected on dark metal hulls. Confidence slowly returned to the Verex. They believed numbers would bring victory. They believed humans were still weak. They believed Earth would fall in one strike. On Earth, humanity was waiting, not with speeches or pride, but with preparation. Every city had drills. Every system had backups. Every human knew the cost of failure. Project Ashburn was now complete. Hidden weapons powered up across the solar system. The silence around Earth was a trap. Human AI tracked the invasion fleet from far away. Every ship was counted. Every movement was predicted. The Verex crossed the final boundary. They expected resistance. They found nothing. Earth looked empty. No fleets moved to meet them. No signals challenged their approach. Alien commanders smiled. They ordered the attack to begin. That was the moment everything changed. Space around the fleet twisted. Hidden human platforms activated. Reality itself seemed to break. Verex ships lost control at once. Navigation failed. Formations collapsed. Human weapons did not burn or explode. They shut systems down. They turned strength into weakness. Entire alien fleets drifted helplessly, colliding with each other, blocking their own escape. Then the human fleet appeared, hundreds of dark ships surrounding the enemy, silent and unforgiving. Human pilots moved with perfect coordination. AI guided every strike. No shot was wasted. The battle became one-sided. Alien weapons could not lock on. Their shields meant nothing. The Verex screamed for retreat, but space itself trapped them. There was nowhere to run. From Earth, billions watched the battle unfold. No cheers filled the cities, only tears and quiet resolve. Humanity remembered the broadcast. They remembered the 7 million lives. They remembered the laughter of the Verex. The last alien command ship tried to flee. Human weapons disabled it in seconds. Its signal was traced back to its origin. Human leaders gave a single order, not spoken aloud, but felt by everyone. Follow them. The surviving alien ships were allowed to escape. Not as mercy, but as a message. Human fleets followed the retreating signal, straight toward the Verex homeworld, the heart of their empire. Earth was safe for now. But humanity knew the truth. This war could only end one way. The galaxy had seen Earth survive. Now it would see Earth answer. Humanity's judgment. The human fleet traveled without rest, following the signal back to the Verex homeworld. No speeches were made. Every human on those ships remembered the broadcast. They remembered the cities erased in seconds. They remembered the calm alien voice. The Vorex home system came into view, a bright star surrounded by many worlds, once a symbol of alien power. Now it was a place of fear. Alien defenses activated in panic, but they were built for intimidation, not war. Human ships did not rush. They studied every weapon, every shield. Then they moved. Defenses failed one by one. Satellites went dark. Planetary shields collapsed. The Verix people watched the sky in terror. Human ships filled orbit, silent and endless. Alien leaders sent desperate messages. They spoke of peace and regret. They begged for mercy. Human command listened. Then they answered with a single transmission. One message sent to every screen. The broadcast from Earth played again. Cities vanishing. 7 million humans dying. The Verix were forced to watch, to feel the fear they once enjoyed, to understand the cost of arrogance. Humanity finally spoke, not with anger, but with truth. We did not start this war. We asked for peace. You chose cruelty. The Verix leadership collapsed. Their voices broke. Their power meant nothing now. Human fleets moved closer. Weapons charged across the system. There would be no escape. Some humans felt doubt. Some felt sorrow. But none felt regret. Because mercy had been offered once, and it was answered with slaughter. Humanity would not make that mistake again. The final order was given. Not shouted. Not celebrated. Verix military systems were erased. Their fleets destroyed. Their command centers silenced. The empire that ruled through fear fell in ours. Worlds surrendered. Resistance ended. When the war was over, the Verix dominion no longer existed. Their species was scattered and broken. Human ships did not stay. They did not claim alien worlds. They left behind a warning, a message sent across the galaxy, clear and simple, impossible to ignore. Humanity seeks peace, but humanity remembers, and humanity always responds. Across alien space, other civilizations listened. They learned from the Verix mistake. They learned to avoid Earth. Back home, humanity mourned at last. Monuments were built, names were remembered. The 7 million were not forgotten. Their deaths changed the galaxy. Their loss became humanity's strength. Earth did not celebrate victory. It returned to silence. But this silence was different. It was strong. It was respected. It was feared. Humanity had been tested. Humanity had suffered. And humanity had endured. The galaxy would never again see humans as weak. Because when pushed to the edge, humanity fights back.